One thing I do think where parents that have kids that are strength training screw up regardless of it is they take them in the gym and they just want to teach them how to squat, bench, deadlift, or, hey, you know, look, my daughter just deadlifted a dime per side. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know, can she move her body weight? Can she do a push-up? Can she lunge? Can she do basic stuff? Does she have visual acuity? Does she have coordination? So I'll let you go from there on childhood development.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, again, once you are doing this for so long, we each have our own, like, this is my program. This is what I do. And I do have, like, the processy that I go about in, you know, creating a program for a child. So, and so starting off with observation. So, and I can kind of relate this to powerlifting, really. So observation, go back to Blaine, you know, I'm observing day one when I didn't even know who he was and I knew you. I'm going to sit in the corner and I was just watching you guys. I'm taking notes or I'm just kind of thinking, you know, in my head. So now I have a child who really doesn't want to be here. I have a father who is like the bar whisperer and he knows everything about strength and conditioning known to man. But there's a disconnect. So I'm trying to figure this out. How does Blaine perceive his father? You know, how is Dave treating his son? What works? What doesn't? What is Blaine motivated by? Well, he keeps on going to his DS in the corner, and he's sitting down, he's crouched over, he's playing. Okay, so then play was a great motivator. So then I see that too with how you're training with him. At one point, you're working. You have like a dowel rod, and you're maybe you're nudging him, and that's getting his attention, and you know, messing with his hair. He's feeling that love and all of that. So that's me. Is how is he walking? How's his gait? Is he able to pay attention? All of those things come into play during that observation, just like you would have if you're watching somebody in the squat. You know, where are their knees? Is their chest up? Are they squeezing the bar? Are they getting their breath? Or they're keeping their feet on the ground? So it's all the same thing. It transcends to everything. So based on that observation, now I'm going into communication. So how can I best communicate with this child based on my observation? And so the route that I chose with Blaine was play. That's where I needed to start. So, and I knew that I wasn't going to say, "Hi, Blaine, I'm Sheena. I want to work with you," because Blaine, without even knowing him, based on how he was treating you, the way that he was, you know, comfortable, he would have literally, I think, just ignored me, maybe turned around and dismissed me. So I just wrote, hey, Blaine, do you want to play a game? And I tossed it over his way. And he literally had the DS in his hand. He dropped the DS, then looked at me, so immediate eye contact.
What did it say on the paper?
It said, hey, do you want to play a game?
Okay.
And so he looks at me, he looks down, he says, in a minute. And then immediately I was like, well, that just worked. You know what I mean? So, but again, that was based on communication or the observation. If I didn't have that keen sense of what's happening, what he needs, what we're doing, then that I would have gone up to him and tried to shake his hand and make it very awkward, you know. So from there, observe, communicate. Now I'm able to create a schedule. So now what are the things that we're going to accomplish with this training schedule? In this particular time, or this particular session, I'm just trying to get to know him, see what works, what doesn't work, and we're gonna play because that's what he wants right now. He doesn't care about his posture. He doesn't care if his hamstrings are weak or if if his resting heart rate is too high. Like, we don't care about that. So the schedule takes time to create, but like with this first session, we're just looking to have fun. Moving forward, though, like now I'm the coach and I have a child with autism, and I have to create a program. It's like everything you do in the gym with your power lifters. What are we trying to accomplish? So we're going to get that from the child. What does the child want to accomplish? Play, okay. The father wants this to be accomplished. Developmentally, as the expert, I know we need to work on X, Y, and Z. The school system, they want this to be brought up. So now you have all these pieces that you're going to try to formulate into this schedule. And we're going to, a schedule is a schedule. Anyone can come up with a schedule. Now we have to execute it. But within that schedule, I kind of break it down into structures and inserts. So our structures might be, in this case, it doesn't have any hold, but our 1 rep max in the squat. That might be that's our goal. And so from there, we're going to work on all of these different things to reach that goal. So my structures might be, yes, I want that strength component. I want that coordination component because, based on Blaine, coordination is where we need to start. Balance. He's walking, he's running into things. Maybe his idea of the space that he's in, he doesn't know how that correlates. Like, he doesn't know how to manipulate the space that he's in. And so that would be something that may be part of it. Fine motor skills. Maybe we don't know how to tie our shoes, or we can't pick up things that are small, or we can't pick up a pen. So that might be another structure within that schedule. And then based on that child, how are we going to get from point A to point B? So if we're starting, say fine motor skills is like the main thing that we need to work on, well, we're going to put that in our programming first. That's where we need to put all of our energy. That's where we need to have that effort, that patience. It's going to be very hard for that child, so we're going to start there. Then the inserts are maybe after that we need to rest. Then we need a snack. And then we're going to go back to whatever we're going to use for that strength training day, those compound movements, or maybe that's just practicing getting up and off the floor, or hip lifts or whatnot. And then from that moment, now we're going to do something that's conditioning based. Well, I want to give the child some choice because he just went through some high stress with that fine motor skill. We had a break. Now we went off to, something that was strength training. We needed another break. Now the child's going to feel like, man, I can be creative too, and I can have choice, and maybe I'm the expert, and maybe I can teach that person, can teach me how to do something. That's important. And then we're going to get into whatever all those pieces showed that we need to work on with that schedule. So there's a starting point. We have 30 minutes, and this is what we're going to do in 30 minutes, and that's maybe something that the child will see. He's a part of it. He or she's crossing off as we go. And so all of those components are in that schedule. And then just based off of that, then we need progress, So like I said, anyone can create a schedule. Here you go, do this today. But how are we progressing? So we're thinking of our social progression, our physical progression, our behavioral progression. These are all things that I consider in the gym, so we're pinpointing that. And then another aspect to that is the motivation aspect, so intrinsically, is it when you give the child choice that's fulfilling that need of I'm creative, I'm competent, I have great ideas, I can be a teacher? Is that, I'm curious, I want to be challenged? And then extrinsically, in Blaine's case, we used tally marks for a long time. So that was something that was used in the school system. That's probably like the main thing that I was able to take from that school, that school piece and put it in my schedule was, what he perceives that if he has high effort and he's doing something really well and he earns that tally, that after, 12 tallies, now he's going to earn McDonald's. So that, and now it's not even, that doesn't even do anything for him. We don't even talk about McDonald's. Now it's that we're going to have enough time so that we can work on robots at the end of our session, or we're going to be able to build a Lego game or work with Legos. So what extrinsically is going to motivate that child to get through that schedule that, may be difficult and sometimes, but we're going to put play and fun and accomplish that. So those are like the building blocks of creating a schedule that I've found works, and I think in your perspective, you're like, yeah, I'm creating programs for 6 people here that are professional powerlifters, and it's the same type of, similar type of, processy.
you know, everybody's going to give all these different kind of answers, you know, and I know what all the answers are going to be, you know, and the fact of the matter is he's just my son and I love him.
You're invited to my party.
I know.
The party's on the 15th,
That's it.
even
That's
though
all
my
I'm gonna say.
real birthday's on the 11th.
So what'd you do yesterday?
I got an